I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay, that doesn't matter. The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely not.
In this video, we're going to look at how to make colonies for the specific purpose of generating enormous amounts of trade value. If you enjoyed this video, please sell that like button. The first and most important part about getting a trade value world is to take the mercantile tradition. The finisher effect is going to give you plus 10% trade value, as well as Marketplace of Better Ideas giving you a total of plus 20% trade value on that planet. But the biggest bonus here is going to come from commercial enterprise. That will mean that all of your commercial zones, as well as commercial segments on Ringworlds and trade districts on habitats, each provide one merchant job. And those merchants are the thing that is going to be providing us with a whole bunch of trade value. So when you want to specialize a world as a trade world, the first thing you'll want to do if you have a regular planet is build lots and lots of commercial zones. The functional architecture civic is very, very good for this, as it gives you an extra 2 building slots on the planet. Those building slots are going to let you fill up the world with commercial zones, which you will want to do for the merchant job. Normally, merchants will produce a base of 12 trade value, but if you take the thrifty trait, you'll get an extra 25%, so you can push that up to 15. From there though, we then start stacking bonuses, increasing your stability. That is going to increase your trade value, plus 6% trade value for every 10 points of stability, or plus 0.6 per point of stability. The planet designation is also important. Urban worlds are going to give you an extra 20% trade value bonus, and they're also going to help you with building city districts and reduce the upkeep of your districts and buildings, which will be very good for your planet. Once you research the technology, a galactic stock exchange is very worthwhile. That will not only give you 2 merchant jobs, but also increase trade value by a further 20%. Each level of galactic commerce resolution that we pass in the galactic community, or Imperium, is going to increase your trade value as well by 5% on all worlds. If you have formed the Imperium, the Galactic Trade Organization is going to increase your trade value as well by another 10%. Though there is a better option, a much better option for trade-based empires to not be in the Galactic Imperium. You see, if you're in the Galactic Imperium, you cannot be in a federation. And there is a fantastic federation that you will want to be in if you are building trade worlds. That is the Trade League. For each level of the Trade League, beyond the first, so for levels 2 through 5, we get an additional 5% trade value on our worlds, stacking up to a total of plus 20%. We also gain access to the Trade League policy, which is absolutely fantastic. I would definitely recommend taking that where possible. To further increase trade value, if you have access to it, you can set your diplomatic stance to mercantile for another 10% bonus on your worlds. As a megacorp, you could also take the free trader civic. That'll give you another 10% trade value. Being xenophile or fanatic xenophile will give you 10 or 20% extra trade value respectively. The investor ruler trait gives you another 10% trade value. And finally, there are 2 governor traits, the Merchant of Numa and Enclave Trader traits. They both give 10% trade value as well. If you add up all the possible bonuses you can get simultaneously, I believe that gives you a maximum possible bonus of around 190% to the trade value output on your planet. Of course, that's not including the base increase that Thrifty gives of 25% on whatever the job produces. Now, I wouldn't recommend you actually upgrade all of your commercial zones to commercial megaplexes, as they then require 1 rare crystal as upkeep, and the only real thing you're going to be getting out of them is an additional merchant job. I don't really think that trade is worth it. Better instead to spin off a new trade world, or instead trade habitat. I've talked about trade worlds, but what about trade habitats? Well, trade habitats have some great advantages. First, you have a special district, which is the trade district. That will function just like a commercial zone and give you additional merchant jobs for each one of those trade districts you build. You can, of course, throw down commercial zones and galactic stock exchanges, as mentioned before. And you can also designate the station to be a trade station. That's the designation you'll want for these habitats, giving you plus 20% trade value, just like an urban world. These habitats require very few population to output massive amounts of trade value. And finally, we have commercial ringworlds. Now, the commercial segment on a ringworld provides a silly number of merchant jobs. You're not just going to be getting one like a habitat, you're getting 4 per segment. And you can have up to 10 segments, meaning you can have a base of at least 40 merchants before we start looking at buildings. If we max out the rest of the slots with commercial zones and throw a galactic stock exchange in the mix, that leaves us with 52 possible merchants. Absolutely crazy. Of course, you'll want to make this a trade value ring world, and then you can be getting levels of trade value output equal to the first level of a Dyson sphere. If you'd like to find out how we can use these trade value powerhouses in an empire build, click the video on screen now.